And we are live, guys. How you doing today, Clyde?
Good. Oh, hanging in
Nice.
there. How about yourself?
What's up, Neff? I'm doing good. Just staying indoors where it's warm. We got like 3 inches of snow so far.
Yeah.
So, of course, everybody back home in Myrtle Beach is going crazy because they got a little bit of snow.
Oh
It's
my
already
God.
melting. My brother said
Yeah.
so.
Well, and the thing is, though, they're talking Wednesday. Wednesday we might get something. Wednesday night, and
Okay.
literally they're just going. Of course, weathermen, the meteorologists, going around jumping up and screaming, flapping their arms, acting like it's the end of the world and Armageddon. And you know, I walked in. The only thing I could see was just enough white stuff on the top roof of my car I could like write my name.
You guys are kind of like back home. The roads, they don't really have the stuff for the roads there, do they?
Well, the thing is, they're also showing footage from the western part of the state, and it's like, well, it was looking bad out there. It's like, dang, that doesn't look great. And I don't, it's like, do I?
I hear you. I hear you. I
Yeah.
figured we'd do a live stream. It's been a minute since I've been able to do one. Been crazy busy, obviously, at work. I think I mentioned to you, I got to, which you guys saw on Paul's live stream. If you watch it, I got to meet Paul Thorpe and Spencer. They're both pretty cool dudes.
Hey, yeah. I've talked to him on the phone a few times, or yeah,
Okay. On
nice guy.
WhatsApp.
Yep. But the thing is, if you've got WhatsApp, you've also got their phone number, so which basically also means if they've got an iPhone, you just basically then just use what is it, voice or
Yeah, that's what we use for work, but mainly is WhatsApp. It's easier, especially with clients out overseas and stuff.
exactly.
So,
But
but
that's screw
yeah,
paying your carrier for screw paying your carrier. I mean, like literally everything is over the internet. Everything's over the net. Everything's conducted by satellite. So come on.
I mean, yeah, WhatsApp just makes things easier,
Yeah. Or even Facebook. I've got a couple clients but they try to contact me on Facebook and Facebook phone calls. And it's like, please don't. It's just like that's why I draw the line.
Yeah. Yeah, my uncle does that. He lives in Germany. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's I was talking to my buddy in Dubai actually on Facebook. A buddy I knew him for a little bit. He was a moderator with me on Watch the Forum on Facebook. So he's got quite a collection himself. So, but yeah, no real topic today. But I figure we can get on for a little bit and say what's up because it's
No
been a
real
minute.
topic today. How does that literally differ from every other day?
Hey,
You're saying that
Thomas.
no real
Hey, no.
no real topic today. It's just like okay.
So, what are your thoughts? Do you think they're? I think they plan on discontinuing the Milgauss, correct?
I don't know. I honestly no idea. Honestly, I mean, when you think about it, either way is possibility because the Milgauss and the Air King are both underperformers. I think, but right now I almost when it comes to Rolex, but it doesn't really matter because it might be the last professional model to go, but people are still going to line up for it.
Oh yeah, I'm personally a fan of the. I like the white dot Milgauss.
Yeah, well, I've had that before, and that's the only thing I don't like about it. It's the same thing I don't like about the coaxial Omegas because of they're chunky monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
I like something that goes under a cuff. I like
Yeah.
So,
But
I like
the Mil. I like the Milgauss like Rick wears all the time. He's got the white dial with the orange rubber B band. I feel like that's a good combo.
Oh, Chris found an Air King for me, and yeah. Well, okay. Neff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Yeah. And number one. Yeah. Chris, I think, guys, if you're on this channel, if you know Chris, he's a hell of a resource to have for us. I mean, especially if Chris knows us. So, actually, Chris, I think we can now say that we have a friend in the business, can we not?
Yeah, I'd say so. We can definitely source pretty much whatever. Some might take a little bit longer than others, but we can
Yeah.
usually source stuff fairly quickly. depending on
So
what it
yeah, but
is.
so guys, we have a friend of the business. So Neff, at least you had enough sense to ask him. And but Neff, it's something something that something basically inside just caused you to pause, caused you to stop. That little bit of grit in the
Now, the
gears.
one thing I can't say about the Air King is I don't think it's going to go up in value a whole lot, but it's one of the better buys under $10,000. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to lose money on it, but you're not going to. I don't think it's going to go up a lot. Do you?
I've learned to quit guessing or predicting Rolex. It just doesn't. It just makes no
Hey,
no
underachieving. Hey,
yeah.
Paul. Hey, Big Wrist. What are you guys all wearing today, watch wise? I'm just wearing a little D-Shock today. What about you, Clyde?
Well, I'm actually wearing the oh geez, the Chronospart Seamaster. Chronostop.
Okay,
Chronostop. And
nice.
I still think that's one of the best values in vintage right now.
You said it was the 70s, right?
60s.
Okay.
60s steel sports.
Okay. G-Shock GA 2100. You can't beat those. The Aquas. You can't beat an Aquas either. Black Bay 30. Oh wait, Black Bay 38.6. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Tutor's something we got a lot of tutor in stock right now.
Well, and sometimes the smaller tutors, the ones that are not necessarily the black bays or the black bays with that aren't necessarily the diamond watches. It's like the equivalent of the Explorer.
I feel like Tutor's still one of those brands right now that's really good value for money.
Yeah. Yep.
Like we have a Pelagos that we just got in, and for the price, like right under $4,000. I mean,
Yep.
It's a heck of a watch for that money. Yeah.
Exactly right. But and Neff, the thing is, whatever caused you at the time to not pull the trigger, if you would have pulled the trigger and ignored it, that would still be bugging you. That's still that little part, whatever the heck that is, that one little part in your brain would still be saying, "You screwed up. You shouldn't have got
I could
this."
still say I could still source one for you anytime if you're interested. You know me on Discord, so just shoot me a message.
Right. Exactly.
And like I said, that's one of those watches I don't feel like it's going to go up a whole lot, but you're not going to lose money on it either. You know.
The big wrist. Also, I also think Chris is now. Chris, if someone has a Rolex or a luxury watch, they've lost that luxury. They've lost that loving feeling. They're bored with it. They're wanting to get out of it, and they're wanting to go into something else. What resources would someone have? Where could someone?
We we can go to Luxury Bazaar. We got plenty of different watches in stock, and like I said, we can always source stuff too if we don't have it.
Do you know anyone at Luxury Bazaar that could help these people? Someone that has a personal touch?
Yeah, I think so. Paul B saying thoughts on GP. Are these guys? So
There's a hit. It's you. Tell them
GP. That's yeah, I know. But GP, that's a brand. Actually, I was thinking about talking about because GP and UN just recently got bought out, correct? You heard that, right?
What? GP? Yeah, GP. Yeah, GP and Ulysse Nardin got sold.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll be good or bad for the company.
No telling. I mean, right now everything's so toxic, turvy. I mean, and here's the odd part: Parmigiani still have. I mean, Parmigiani. It's just like even yeah. Okay, Rolex question. A vintage Rolex question. All right, Rolex 6246. Let me look it up. Ew. Oh, okay. Quarter dial. Okay, and it's got yeah. So it's vintage. 2,500 pounds. Well, like I said, they're showing up used for eBay that much, 28.50 USD. So, 2,000. If yours was, if that one is a particularly fine example, or if it's, see, I don't know, Thomas, is it box and paint? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I think that's about on the money. I think it's interesting. So, yeah. And the thing is, right now with Rolex, with the track they're on now, you almost can't make a mistake. Even if you buy one, even if you screwed up, even if you didn't negotiate hard enough, all you fucking have to do is wait.
Yeah, we actually just got a green palm dial in the other day. I did on trade.
Palm dial Datejust, huh?
Yeah, 36. Underachieving watch collector said he's wearing the Royal Kontiki GMT. I don't consider it a toxic watch. I kind of like those. That's the Eterna, right, Clyde?
A what?
Eterna, the Kontiki?
Eternograph?
No, Eterna, the brand.
Oh, Eterna. Yeah, yes.
The Kontiki,
yes,
I believe that's Eterna, right? Did they give you a Dalton? Yeah, I had that hoodie, Paul. I saw a original Chronostop for €9.95 yesterday. Nice.
Cool.
That sounds like a good buy.
Well, okay, but let me also back up. There's, and when you see Chronostop, I originally think it was like the smaller one without any. This is like the one I got is an oversized. I like that. It's like 42. I like that so much better. Sometimes those original Chronostops are like 35, and I think that might be a little bit small, even though, unless you've got a wrist like Han Dane's. Han Dane's, a Star Wars story. You could probably pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
white gold Honda for like $6K.
Okay, Neff, let me go on that in a little bit of detail, okay, if you don't mind. We know you meant observed, underachieving. Yeah, Chris got the thing is, Parmigiani. They've got the guy who was in charge of, was it Bulgari, who turned things around at Bulgari. Now is taking over, given the helm at. Now been given their job at Parmigiani. So what they're parsing down their product lines.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. And yeah, it's fun every day. Sorry, Clyde. I was just
that's right. Yeah.
Paul.
I mean, shit. I've never had a boss give me a 1/4 size machine gun to put on my desk. I mean, I hear that, it's like, that is. I mean, when I heard that, it's like, okay, that's fucking cool. I mean, that just.
Oh yeah, Roman's probably the best boss I ever had, man. If I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because but here's the thing, though. Every time I see him, it's like, of course, I know it's everything. Businessman, you got to be totally. But he always had, in my opinion, cold dead eyes like a shark.
That's kind of like a Russian look through, though. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, actually, like I said, the picture of him and you, though, he actually had, he didn't look like a shark. So, which is nice. It's, wow, he's a human being. Wow.
No, Roman's a good dude.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Also, former military, former Army Hua.
Yep.
But Parmigiani, I think the guy's trying to turn it around. The new CEO, like he did with Bulgari, trying to pull it out of the doldrums, and making some steps in the right direction. Parse down the product lines, but that doesn't say Parmigiani Flourier anymore. It just has capital P, small f, or whatever, smaller f.
Yeah.
So, and here's the other thing. Jesus, a name of a brand or a name of a Redsmiths means so much, and a lot of times you almost think it's an afterthought.
Mm-hmm. There's a few Parmigianis that I like. I had one come across the desk. I can't remember what model it was. It's Honda, maybe.
Round dress watch. Now you're young. You're a little bit younger than me, so you probably don't appreciate oblong watches or square watches, right?
Yes and no. Like I like the reverse O. That's one I want to add to my personal collection at some point. I'd love to get the duo face. That's like 2 watches in one.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So for the money, you can't really beat that watch either. And they kind of you're not gonna make a lot of money on it, but you're not necessarily gonna lose money on it either. You
Right.
know.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Also,
Classic.
I
Never goes out of style.
I think. Have you ever seen the Kalpa from Parmigiani, the square one?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the Ebdo Madera, the wind up one, the manual one.
Okay. I think you sent me pictures of one of those one time, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm sending you pictures of mine. I love that. I actually had the duo face, and after I got the Kalpa, and the manual one Kalpa, literally an 8-day power reserve, I got rid of the duo face.
Okay.
To me, the Parmigiani, there's just no comparison between that and the GLC.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Kalpa is a great looking watch. Awesome. Guess what kind of lugs they are? Horned.
Speaking of, I haven't watched one of his live streams for I can't remember how long now.
But if you can stand the sound, of course, there's square watches or tonneau shell watches. They're not popular. That's why even Patek Philippe gave up Dolo. But I was looking at the Kalpa when Bill Sanders was talking about, and I got the Hebdo Madera in steel for a great price. And in-house movement, manually wound 8-day power supply, and also it's a shaped movement. Okay. So it's not like a lot of times when you see like a watch with a date or something, and the date is not at the outside of the dial, but it's inside.
Mm-hmm.
Where they've got it halfway between the middle of the dial and the outer part. You know what that basically? Yeah. You know what that basically means, right?
No, what's that?
It's a smaller. They cheaped out. They dropped in a small movement inside a larger case and using a spacer.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day, huh?
Yeah, 19 is not 100. So when you see that, it's just like, so when everything is squeezed in towards, it looks like everything is kind of squeezed in towards the center of the dial. That basically means, they're using a small movement with a spacer just to save a buck. They know that it's like, well, we got this movement. We got this tiny little movement. It does a lot. We also know that people hate, people like big watches. We don't want to spend the money. We can't release a small watch. We can't develop. We don't want to put the money into having a new movement or making that movement bigger. So that's the compromise.
Okay. Let's see. You and Bill, fantastic collectors. Yeah, you guys got eccentric taste, but it's good taste. Don't collect everything that everybody else does.
Got an email for 20-piece Green Altonda. Can't buy without a big discount. But yeah, limited edition. But an LE, well, yeah. You see, and again, you can tell that that they've got someone else who's a little bit more savvy at the switch.
Big risk. Used to take a back off of every watch you bought. Surprised at how many's.
Big wrist. His big bad wrist.
Man. Sorry. But yeah, that's like I said, Parmigiani is a brand that's up and coming. I feel like GP is getting popular only because you know who's promoting them. So.
Oh wait, is it? Is it who I think it is?
Yeah.
Is it 3 letters?
Yep.
Well, but okay. Yeah, all right.
I think it's because they're promoting. Now, the one he has a good point because that black ceramic is actually kind of undervalued compared to an AP. I think he is right there. Wouldn't you say?
Well, okay. Let me give you an interesting. You know, literally, who was one of the biggest, earliest advocates for having people to quit smoking and saying that smoking was unhealthy and killing people and causing cancer?
No, Ralph Nader or something like that.
Even worse.
Who's that?
Think of the worst people in history.
Hitler?
Yep, Hitler was
Really?
large. He basically was a fervent anti-smoker. He thought it was unhealthy as hell. He thought it was taking lives. He tried everything they could to discourage it. He wouldn't allow smoking. You couldn't smoke around him. You couldn't if basically he walked into the building, there were cigarettes. Walked in any place there were cigarettes, he'd throw a hissy fit.
But that was back in a time when everybody and a brother smoked.
Yep, but he was one of the first people. So now let's go back to the three-letter guy doing a brand. Just because you might despise the person, and I'm not comparing this person to Hitler. A lot of people do, but I'm not, because I don't want to insult Hitler that way. Sorry, but just because if someone you don't like doesn't have has the right idea, that doesn't mean it's still not the right idea. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this guy buying up GP and UN as a brand as a whole, it might be good for them if he's anything like Bevier, like how Bevier kind of revived Tag, Blancpain, and a couple other brands.
Yes.
It depends on how he runs the company. I feel like.
No.
Really, where the phrase smoking didn't know that.
Well, the only smoking they enjoyed was never mind. Sorry. I'm not gonna say that.
Nader did an unsafe and ain't. Yeah, he was a big
the
EPA guy.
The jungle. Okay, so he was doing this. He was writing the book The Jungle. Okay.
Let's see here. Don't there answer Thomas to say you may think it's
a small one. Thomas, I would agree with that. Okay, but The Jungle, love it. Yeah. Big Russ, I'm not going to do that. But and I'll come back to The Jungle. What were we talking about beforehand? Well, and the thing is, he was describing the unsanitary, but the abhorrent working conditions. But he didn't quite hit the mark. Irvin Sinclair was also talking about how badly these slaughterhouses and everything, how badly they mistreated people, and how he also, in the process, he said they're having to work with all these super duper unsanitary conditions. And people got prodded to action, not to help the workers, but to have them clean up their act on their food.
I gotcha. Well, I've got to unfortunately run. I got to give a client a call back. Okay. You about ready to call it a day?
It's a day. So yeah, thanks for joining. And Thomas Burnett, let me also, if they're passing that on to the, what I hate though, is if they're trying to charge the same that they would charge if they had a proper move in it. Number one. Number two is, don't put the freaking date in. Make it a dateless. If they made it a non-date, if they made it a non-date watch, dateless, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Clyde, for coming on, and thanks everybody for joining in. We might try to do one maybe tomorrow if you're up for it, Clyde.
We'll see. It depends what time. Thanks again.
I got you. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming on. See you guys.